This podcast is part of the No Phony Podcast Network, the home of independent awesomeness.
This is it's so like anticlimactic doing it like this. Like,
weird.
I'm coming over. I'll see you in a minute.
I'm bringing the disease with me.
Welcome back, everybody. Another quarantined episode of Saturdays with Chickenduck. This week, special guest joining us out of studio, Riley Shepard.
Hello.
Gladiator of the Geeks. Was that what they call you? Is that your nickname?
Yep, the Gladiator of the Geeks.
That's amazing. I didn't know I had a somebody that had my back in the wrestling ring, but that's perfect.
It's exactly what I'm here for.
Also joining us are the wrestling dorks, Sammy and John. How are you, boys?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
Good.
Good to be back, fellas.
Joining me, as always, is my co-host, who reminded me this morning to say his name, Casey Shear. Casey's with us, everybody.
Thank you. You never
How are you,
introduced me.
Because I think that everybody that's here is probably here to see you anyway.
Yeah.
So they already know you're here. Not today, of course.
Sure, yeah, but the guests, I mean, people listening, wherever they're going to be listening to, don't know that I'm here until I speak, if they're not watching.
That's deep.
You know what I mean?
Deep.
And you're probably picking up new listeners every week, so you want them to, be able to jump right in.
That's right.
But
That's right.
they'll definitely see you now with that pink bandana.
Well, and my Gladiator of the
And
Geeks.
gosh,
Jeez.
representing.
Yeah.
How many T-shirts do you own? Like, seriously?
I'm at 96 so far. We're at 96 of the
Why are you counting your T-shirts?
Yeah, that's
that was
what I
a
wanna know.
rhetorical question.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, he wanted to be prepared. He knew someone someday would ask him that.
Yeah.
Well,
But
on
it's
Instagram,
continuous.
I'm doing a thing on Instagram where it's I'm trying to do 365 shirts in 365 days. So I'm at 96 right now, and I'm realizing that it's probably going to be pretty tough. I'm probably not going to make it through the year. I don't have that many shirts.
Are you able to make like car payments and pay your rent, or are you just chasing your dream of owning a shirt per day?
Hey, it's better than the cocaine habit that I used to have, huh?
Depends who you ask, I guess.
You can pay for car payments in T-shirts.
What's that, Sam?
I said you can pay for your car payments in T-shirts, like
Yeah.
hey, 24 T-shirt payment a month,
Maybe soon, yeah. Maybe soon we'll be paying.
Where are you getting your summer T-shirts, Sam?
So
I
Riley,
lost John.
he'll be
I'm
back.
here.
What in the world's going on?
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
I'm here. Just calm down. Just
I like your
Have some
sparkly green hat.
I have some background action, so I'm here. I'm listening to you guys. You're so entertaining.
Thanks.
John wants to get right to the wrestling, huh?
No, man, no. We're wrestling dorks, but we actually talk less about wrestling than anything else. So
All right.
Are there nude people running around behind you? I'm trying to
you
think.
never know, man. You never
He
know.
has no pants. I told you.
It's the pants. You
No
guys forced me to
pants.
put on pants, so I have to get up and put some on. So come on.
I shamed him into pants.
So Riley, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in New Jersey, in a place I fondly call Howlbama. It's Howell, New Jersey. It's Central Jersey. If you're from New Jersey, it is a real place. I know most people don't believe in Central Jersey, but I grew up there. And I grew up with both my parents and 3 other siblings, so my house was always a little crazy. And then, I don't know if you want my whole story, but short, thorough sort of story. At 15, knew I wanted to be a police officer, became a 911 dispatcher, went to the police academy and became a police officer, then realized I didn't want that, and became a pro wrestler. So
That old chestnut, huh?
Yeah,
I had a
yeah.
nickel every
Just
time
that
I heard
thing.
that story.
Yeah, that same old story. Jeez.
So that's my life in a nutshell.
Why did you
Okay.
decide? Why did you decide you wanted to become a pro wrestler?
I actually didn't watch pro wrestling growing up at all. It wasn't in my family. I think my great grandfather really watched it. I may have seen like one Undertaker match where he hit someone with a steel chair at my great grandfather's house, and that was it. I didn't watch until I was 24, 25, because my then boyfriend used to watch with his brother, and they went to WrestleMania together and didn't invite me. So I kind of spitefully started watching wrestling because I was very bad. So yeah, that's kind of that in a nutshell. It was when the Four Horsewomen were coming up through NXT. So it was, as a woman, a really big motivation to realize that the climate in wrestling was changing, and they were going away from the Divas era, which I know was a great launching pad, but it's not something really that the Gladiator of the Geeks would have fit into. So that when that culminated while I was becoming a police officer, became a police officer and realized I wasn't happy at that job. So then I started wrestling, and the rest is history.
So basically, you didn't get invited to WrestleMania, and you're like, "Fuck these guys! I'm going to end up getting on this show at some point."
Now they come and watch me wrestle. So booyah!
Yeah. Good old spite. Spite will fuel a lot of things for it. That's the whole reason we started our show, was out of spite, because we hated our job. So it's kind of the same thing.
There you go.
We still
Spite
hate our
motivates
jobs, though,
everything.
John.
What? What?
I still have my job. I don't know about you. Well, not.
Well, we
currently.
have our job, but we hated it so much. We were like, we need something else to do, man. So we started our show out of spite. So I totally am with you on that.
But we still hate our jobs. Is my.
Well, everybody hates
But
their
you
job.
have
But
a
like,
hobby.
She quit her job and then her son.
Yeah,
So pops.
I'm a different breed. I'm kind of one of those people. My husband calls it stubborn. My dad, when he makes me want to feel better, says it's determination.
Yeah.
So if I kind of go gung-ho, if I really am passionate about something, I go full in, and most people wouldn't quit their job to, follow what would have been a hobby. I did.
So how long have you been wrestling?
I started training in May 2016, and then my debut was December 2016. I technically have been wrestling for 2 years because I took a year off for ACL injury. So it's been 2 years and 1 month because I was back for a month before this whole coronavirus stuff. So yeah, like 2 years and 1 month.
Yeah, I watched your last match yesterday, and were you like nervous as hell to get back in the ring after your knee injury? You had to be, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, which match was that?
Shit. I don't know. I have to look it up. But I was.
Oh,
just
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did. But I was
Sorry
like,
about that. I was just curious.
I was all no, but I watched the entire
Well, we
match, and I was like, you didn't look like you were. Oh, fuck, damn. You know what? I'm gonna go dark again. Forget it. I'm taking these pants off. It's making me
Put more
uncomfortable.
pants on. It's fine. I was the first match back I was very nervous for. It was in New Jersey, and I was facing Darius Carter for the heavyweight championship,
That's what I watched.
Okay. I've never had a heavyweight championship match before, so it was kind of like on top of coming back from a knee injury. This was my first match back, and it was for such a prestigious, championship. And I just wanted for people to realize that I didn't miss a step. I didn't want anyone to be like, oh, she's injured. We can tell she's injured,
Yeah.
And on top of it, I had a lot of friends and family in that audience. So I'm like, I got to do well. I don't want to disappoint anyone. And yeah, we kicked each other's asses the entire night. And it was brutal. I woke up the next day and I was bruised, literally arms, legs bruised. But my God, it felt so amazing. And I don't think at any point during that match, I know he was attacking my knee the entire time, but it wasn't at any point in the match me thinking, oh crap, this is bad. I need to worry about my injured knee. Is it going to be able to do this? During the match, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, all right, well, we're doing this. I don't care how many times he attacks my knee. I'm going to kick him and I'm going to throw him around. And I don't care if my knee eventually collapses. I'm going to keep fighting through it. So that was kind of what happened once the adrenaline rush was going.
Yeah. I got to ask one thing. What's it feel like to hit somebody with a steel chair?
It feels really good because you pick it up and you're like, am I really going to hit another person with this thing?
Yeah.
And then you do, and you're like, wow, I'm going to need to hit more people with this thing.
Because I've been hit, but I haven't hit anybody. And I was hit like a tapped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it wasn't a love tap at all to Darius Carter. It was definitely very thorough. But I have never before hit someone with a chair, and I'm going to need to hit him again with him.
So going back to that match you were just talking about, for people listening, intergender wrestling is starting to become more and more mainstream. So was that your first intergender match, and just your overall thoughts on it?
It surprisingly wasn't my first intergender match. One of my first matches ever was an intergender match at Monster Factory at the MFPW for Factory Fridays. And it was a tag team match against who actually was on AEW Dark, Preston Vance and Lucas DeSangro. And then my partner was Nick, who actually is now in NXT. And that was my first intro to intergender wrestling, and it kind of just sparked the whole, I need to do this more, because for me, it's just another fight. And I have always said when I step into the ring, I'm not a female, I'm a wrestler, and treat me that way. So that opened the door, and I just want to keep doing it more. And I'm hoping I get to do it more.
I can't imagine there's a lot of people that are females that are signing up to do that. I mean, that's got to be, you have to be, how many peers do you have in the local, I'm sorry, what give me some help, like I'm not sure what words I'm even looking for.
How many other intergender wrestlers are there out there? Is that what you're asking?
Right, yeah. I mean, in the, at the professional level, I mean, I was looking at your stats. You're not, like, I can't imagine. I'm a big dude. I would consider myself a heavyweight by anyone's standards. I couldn't imagine getting into the ring with a 5'3" person and not, hurting.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's like you getting in the ring, and that's what I said. It's like you getting in the ring with a 5'3" man. Are you going to say no to that?
I mean, I don't know.
Put
Sam,
you on the spot right there.
He's willing to beat anyone's ass, I guess.
Sammy, how tall is Sam?
Me? I'm like 5'10" and a half.
But so for me, I get your point, and I really do. I've faced guys who were bigger than me. Like Darius Carter was obviously taller than me. I've also faced guys recently. I had a tag team match, and the guy was, I think, might have been as tall, if not shorter than me, but I threw him across the ring. Like for me, it's never about gender. It's always about size, and it's the same thing with if you face another guy. It's about size. My gender has really nothing to do with it, and it's probably because I was a police officer, and I trained with men, and I was held to the same standards as men. I didn't get, oh, hey, she's a female, maybe go easy on her. No, I was a police officer. When I go on the streets, you don't get to say, no, I don't want the female officer. I'm afraid to hurt her. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works in pro wrestling for me. So.
Right.
Nice.
Did you have an athletic background growing up? Did you play sports?
I did gymnastics since I was 7 years old. I did try softball for one semester in high school, and they told me to go out for the track team. So I tried pole vaulting for a semester because I figured, gymnastics, pole vaulting, that didn't go so well either. So I stuck with gymnastics, and I think like 2 years of cheerleading, because I got hurt in gymnastics. So I was like, I got to do something. Cheerleading wasn't really my thing. I'm not as peppy, I guess. But gymnastics, which lends itself great to wrestling, was always my heart. since the time from 7 to 18 I did it.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
So you said you trained at the Monster Factory?
Yes, my original training was at the Monster Factory. I've also trained at the Worldwide Dojo with Cheeseburger from Ring of Honor, and now I'm currently at Team Adams Pro Wrestling Academy with Damian Adams.
So how are you? Are you still doing any? How are you training during this time of lockdown, quarantine?
She just goes to the supermarket and beats the shit out of people, like randomly, then back into the car real quick.
I was gonna say my husband has now become the invisible man, but no, he actually he pretends to super kick me more than I actually like try and do any wrestling moves. I'm like, you don't train. I currently obviously can't train in a wrestling ring, but I am still doing at-home workouts. I actually do have a personal trainer who I work with twice a week. She has a setup in her apartment, so it's still, you know, not me a gathering. It's me and her. So, and I think I'm the only one she's really training currently. So that's what I'm doing currently. I miss training.
Are you in Jersey yet? Are you still in Jersey?
Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't left Jersey. Said hunker down where
I
you
didn't
are.
really mean it like that. I mean,
Yeah, I know
I'm
the way
in
you
Reading,
said that was like,
Pennsylvania.
are you still there? Like,
Well,
why the hell
yeah,
haven't you
no,
left?
I mean, she's from Jersey. I meant, is she still in Jersey? There was no. I didn't mean to be condescending. Again, I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania.
I was gonna say, don't tell her where we're
I'm
all
not on a pedestal by any means. I assure you.
No, I get it. Yeah, I haven't since the orders came out. I've been in New Jersey. We actually were supposed to go to Italy, March 15th, when it all started happening. And we're like, maybe don't go there. Thank goodness we didn't. But yeah, we've been in New Jersey since everything started.
I saw you had a match with the AEW champion, Nyla Rose. What was that like?
It was awesome. I was super excited to be able to face her. I've known about her for a while, and I was working at Warriors of Wrestling. I've been wanting to face her. But on top of it, she is a Zelda geek. She actually has a Zelda tattoo on her arm. So I was very excited. We both kind of geeked out for a second, and she realized, oh, I'm supposed to keep kicking your butt. So that's kind of how that match went, and then she proceeded to kick my butt. But I want to face her again, and if anything, I would love to maybe eventually tag with her down the line, but it's one of my favorite matches for sure.
Awesome.
You guys can't hear that lawnmower in the background, can you?
No.
Good,
No.
thank God. Somebody just fired up a lawnmower like right outside my window, and I was like, oh, I just ruined the whole show. Great.
I
What are you
thought you were
talking
in a
about? You're in a ring.
It's weird. They're mowing the grass right outside this wrestling ring.
Have
here. It's really odd.
landscapers.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Gladiator of the Geeks gimmick.
So the Gladiator of the Geeks is not really a gimmick, just because it's literally it's literally me, but I wear armor. So I grew up reading books my entire life. I still read every single night, and mainly it's sci-fi, science fiction, and that's my geekdom. So I grew up reading, Goosebumps, Harry Potter. Now I love Dresden Files, is one of my favorites. And I became a geek and always nose stuck in a book, to the point where when I was growing up in middle school, I kind of got bullied for it. I had like those huge thick glasses and braces and the nose in the book, and yeah, I got made fun of a lot for it. So for a long time, I tried to hide away who I was, and realized that that wasn't me, realized I wasn't living because I was trying to avoid being bullied, but I couldn't be me, and got to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm not going to be silent anymore. I'm going to still be me. I'm going to use my voice, but now I'm going to use my voice not just for me, but for other people. Mm-hmm. And so that became who the Gladiator of the Geeks was. I still am a complete geek. I used to LARP. I play video games. I love Dragon Age and Mass Effect, which parts of the Gladiator of the Geeks I've taken from that and from LARPing. But at the end of the day, the Gladiator of the Geeks is someone who fights for anyone who feels like an outcast, feels like they have to remain silent from who they are. and show that we are strong and we can fight.
That's awesome. Nobody in this group knows anything about being bullied or being dorky or anything. So we don't relate. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 of you, I think, have a podcast that has the word dork in it. So
We're just fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. That's all.
Completely
We're
different.
just- yeah, completely different. Yeah.
But you're using your voice for the same thing. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It has nothing to do with us being losers at all.
Oh, come on, God.
We're not losers, we're geeks.
Oh, see, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm completely off.
Yeah, she's not the gladiator of losers, dude.
I think he just called me a loser.
I think I called all of us.
I'm
losers.
leaving.
Maybe.
Yeah, this podcast sucks.
So are your fans the geeks then? They should be the geeks, right?
I don't know what they don't like call themselves anything. There is
They do. They just don't tell anybody.
They
about
don't,
it.
they keep it down low.
They don't want to get. Yeah.
I do have a fan who was there for my first match back. He brought his son Quentin, who I believe is like 9, and he had purple glasses, and I immediately went, "Oh my God, I love your glasses."
Yeah.
And he became a huge fan of mine to the point where I'm like, I'm going to make you a lieutenant in my geek army. And then he made a poster with geek, like Riley Shepard's army. But he actually face down, he had one of my swords. There's like this really cool picture of it. And I had no idea because I had just been beaten up. But Darius Carter went out of the ring to grab a steel chair. And literally Quentin grabbed the chair, like held onto the chair with his little sword in the other hand, and was like, "No."
And
So
then he knocked him with the steel chair, right?
Yeah. Picked them up and threw them 4 rows back.
MJF would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Darius Carter to hit the kid with the chair either. So I really wouldn't, because that's the
You heard it here, folks.
that's the type of person he is. But yeah, that's the only one I know of that had like a nickname about Riley's army or geek army, because his father told me that story after the show. It's like, oh, he's a lieutenant now because he tried to save me.
That's awesome.
How did you get into Atomic or Rogue? When did you start wrestling for them?
Not long after my debut. I wouldn't be able to tell you an exact date, but it definitely was within my first year of wrestling. Tate, who's the promoter there, reached out to me and said he wanted to bring me in, and it was an amazing experience. It was, I think, only my 3rd outside booking outside of MFPW, and to walk into the locker room where it's literally half men, half women was such a cool experience. I'm like, oh no, I have to come back here. And it was the whole show, and everyone was so amazing in that locker room, and the show itself, fans themselves. I've gone back as soon as they can, and now I'm champ.
We saw that.
Yes. It's only my 2nd championship belt, and now it's like it's indefinite. I'm the champ forever now,
really.
until we're not quarantined.
Tate seemed to be running a pretty good show there, and getting a lot of different places to run venues at and stuff.
Yeah, he just expanded. I know we've been in Reverb, and we were in the fire department hall, fire hall, but I believe he added 2 more venues on. So, and he's trying to run more shows before all of this happened, obviously. Yeah. So hopefully everyone can pick back up where they were, and gung-ho.
You said about you'd like to tag with Nyla Rose at some point. Do you prefer tag team wrestling?
I don't prefer singles or tag team. I just want to do everything. So, and I mean, who else would be a better tag team partner than, Nyla Rose?
Yeah.
So since you didn't grow up watching wrestling, but obviously you started watching at some point, who would you say you've taken anything from? I know you said you watched the 4 Horsewomen, but normally you might pick up some things from somebody or try to model yourself a little bit after somebody.
I would say if I had to put a name to anything, because I kind of take from everyone. If I see something that I'm like, oh, I could do that, and then I try to put it in my, my little toolbox. I would say Becky Lynch was the first person who wrestler I identified with, because she had that takeover match with Sasha, where she actually ended up losing, but literally the fans sang back her entrance music to her, and that was kind of the light bulb moment of, oh, I really want to do this. I can't believe how involved everyone became with that match. And I would say maybe I'm a little more grounded of a wrestler. I will do a missile drop kick from the top rope and things like that, but I'm definitely more of a ground and pound, throw people, kick people in the head. So I would say maybe her and Bailey. Bailey more in NXT for sure.
Did you watch WrestleMania last night at all?
I have only watched 2 matches because I kind of wanted it to all be today. I'm a weird person where I wanted like some sort of semblance of normalcy. Like Sunday is WrestleMania, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna binge watch everything today in one day. But that was my plan. So I've only seen the women's tag team match and Braun versus Goldberg.
Braun Goldberg took up a lot of your time, didn't it?
Yeah, I was saying, barely had time to watch that.
I mean, I was very excited that he won, but I do have to say I enjoyed the women's tag team match a little bit more.
Yeah, a little more action.
I was surprised when it ended at 10 o'clock last night. They kept everything moving, and it actually ended right at 10 o'clock. I mean, Sam, you probably are such a traditionalist. You're probably like, why didn't it go till 10:36 or whatever? But it ended right at 10.
Well, everything was pre-recorded, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
but like normally, it's like 4 hours long, like easily, and they like actually ended at 10 o'clock, which is just. And I looked over, I was like, that's it. Like, I don't know, it seemed to go pretty fast actually for what it was.
Well, because they cut it in half. So, and especially in comparison to last year, I actually was at the WrestleMania with my crutches and my brace after ACL, because I got ACL surgery March 27th. It was like, oh no, I'm still going to WrestleMania. I already missed one because they didn't invite me. I'm going to this one. So that one was super long. That went so late. I think we were there until 1:30 in the morning by the time everyone.
That was the big fiasco where nobody could leave because all the public transportation was done. When did you guys finally get out of there?
Yeah. I mean, the WrestleMania itself was amazing, but when you're like, we want to go home now, it went a little long for that.
Yeah, and you're on crutches. Like, I just want to get the hell out. Yeah.
So tell us, after your injury, did you step away from the wrestling business, or what did you do during your recovery period?
For the first few months, I did step away, mainly because I couldn't really walk around all that much. I did end up going back a few months later. Brie Combination Wrestling reached out to me and asked me to come back for commentary. And so I was able to do commentary for BCW, Atomic Championship Wrestling, and Dropkick Depression, which I am eternally grateful. Oh, and I'm sorry, New York Championship Wrestling. I'm eternally grateful for that because I didn't realize how much I needed it at the time until I walked into BCW and it's like, oh, I'm home. So that's what I did while I couldn't physically be in the ring, was commentary.
I feel like that'd be so hard to be like, especially because it's not like you've been doing it forever, and then you finally you're hitting your groove, and then it's like boom. I mean, did you have that period where you were really down on yourself with your knee injury?
Yeah, I feel like most people would be that way. For me, it was double because I had been starting to hit my groove. I literally, in March, was able to wrestle for Future of Honor and Shine and go against Nyla Rose for Warriors of Wrestling Championship. And then to be like, nope, you're done for what they said was 9 months to a year. I ended up coming back 10 months. But on top of that, I've literally been athletic my whole life, and now I've got my leg cut out from under me and I can't really be as athletic. So you spiral a little. But I was lucky enough, I think, being able to still work with my personal trainer and then go back to commentary. It brought me back out of it sooner than later.
Did you injure it in a match, or was it training, or what happened?
It was a match. It was for the championship belt at NYCW, and I was in a fatal 4-way, and I caught Christina Marie to what was supposed to be, well, I was going to throw her because that's what I do, is I like to throw people. And when I caught her all on one leg, and it just kind of caved inwards. And she collapsed on me and almost got the pin, but I still, even though my knee was wonky, I was able to kick out. I actually did win the championship belt in that match. Because like, I don't care if my knee is, if I have one good knee, we're still going. But I won the belt, and afterwards, when the adrenaline kind of went away after intermission, it was just swollen. So swollen I couldn't put any weight on it. I was like, oh, this might be bad. But yeah, it was during
right
the match.
away? Sorry, did you know right away like something was up?
I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know the extent of it. I've always kind of had bad knees between gymnastics and then the police academy. I ended up with a fracture in my other knee from the police academy from running Monday through Friday on hard asphalt in a platoon where they like start and stop. So I've always had bad knees, and I think it was more just scary because every time I tried to put my weight on it, it would collapse underneath me. So I think at one point during the match, I tried to pick Christina up again, and it just wouldn't go, and she was able to turn around on me because it literally collapsed under me. So that was scary.
Yeah, but holy smokes. Did you, like, I saw that you wrote about your rehab a lot. Did that help you like kind of get through? Do you know what I mean?
It did. I've always liked writing. I just, one of these days I'll try and do a blog or a vlog, but I'm kind of iffy about that. But being able to write down how I was feeling and share it, and have people who may have a similar situation where they're going through an injury and feel like I'm never going to be able to make it on the other side of this injury, it helped a lot knowing that I was able to put my words on, well, technically not paper, but on a computer, and that I was not only helping myself, but someone else who might have read that it will eventually get better. You just kind of have to hunker into this journey and take it for what it is. But it helped a lot for sure. And I actually have a fan who had back surgery recently, and she's reached out to me a few times and been like, hey, how was it when your first few months, because she's only in the first few months right now, I can't lift my leg, do you have any advice for me? I'm like, you'll make it through. So I think because she was able to see what I went through, she feels comfortable enough reaching out to me.
Yeah, that's really cool to see that stuff. I remember like I think there was a WWE Network special about Seth Rollins when he had his knee injury, and they were talking about him coming back. It's kind of like the same thing. It's cool to see like how you guys are able to just like keep going through that stuff. So
yeah, if you want to be back in the ring, you don't have a choice but to keep going through that.
Yeah,
you have that motivation to push you. And that was, for me, it was, I didn't want to miss a step when I came back, so I was going to do everything I could within the power, my power, what the orthopedic or my physical therapist said, okay, you're okay to do. I literally was very strict with them, and I don't think they trusted me to actually listen to them. But I've had two friends who are wrestlers, Preston Vance actually, and Mike Orlando, who went through ACL surgery a couple years before me, and they came back way too soon. They came back within 5 or 6 months, and they both tore their other knee and ended up both getting surgery. And it's like, we're going to do this the right way. But we have a goal. I kept putting like a goal of when I want to come back, and we're going to aim for that, but we're going to listen.
Must have worked out because your match was good the other day, the one that I saw. Do you have to cancel a whole bunch of appearances coming up because of all this garbage, or?
I mean, I didn't have to. The promoters reached out to me, which is, for me, I mean, we don't want to cancel anything. We want to be able to work, but it's better that they reached out versus me being like, hey, by the way, social distance. So that was all kind of taken out of my hands. But I'm hoping when we come back, everything will pick up, because I lost momentum with my ACL surgery, and I was just kind of getting it back for a month. And now everyone lost momentum. So hopefully we can all just kind of pick up where we left off.
So you're saying no empty arena boneyard matches for you coming up? Is that what
No, not for me. No.
I can't wait for you to watch that.
Don't spoil that.
I'm gonna
She
talk
didn't watch
about
it.
Those
I
are
know,
sad
I-
and bewildering,
but I
by the
do.
way. I know
do have
nothing about
social media.
wrestling, but
Yeah,
I can't
gotcha.
handle the fact that I said I can't handle the fact that they're actually recording and like. So WrestleMania, correct, is in front of nobody.
Nobody.
It's in front of
How do you-
us.
Okay. How do you do that in front of zero audience? Zero.
Because they know that we're watching, man. Come on,
Bullshit.
they're doing it for us. And
Bullshit.
It's tough.
It's
It's
gotta be
bullshit.
tough. I mean, like yesterday, well, you saw the women's the tag match. Like at one point, I think Kairi Sane jumped like through the ropes, and then they got out and they went, yeah, like
Yeah.
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 that part's weird.
Like
I actually liked that part though.
It was cool, right?
When,
It was
like-
different. It's like they're
Because-
just pretending like people are still there.
No,
camera
but
guys are throwing
you are
chairs
still
out
there
into
because
the
you
ring.
watched. You are still there because you watched it. I don't know. For me, it's kind of interesting to see. It's got to be a true test to who can actually rise to the challenge of. No one's ever had to face this, so
Right.
guess what? We're gonna have to do this if we want to do it. And so it's really cool to see how they're putting on WrestleMania and putting on the empty arena matches for AEW or WWE. But yeah, when she yelled for, I know no one was in the audience, but I enjoyed it from my
Yeah.
couch.
Pretending like we're there, man. That's what I like.
As someone who's trained as a professional wrestler, I mean, I've worked in crowds that have almost been like that. So it's not. I mean,
Casey, that's how many people were at your dad's house when we used to do it back in high school.
yes,
Zero.
I mean, it's not really that big of a.
Backyard wrestling?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Sam and I did ring announcing for pretty much the same amount of people too. So we kind of are there with you. We announced for nobody. So
Right. Well, I mean, I've definitely wrestled in front of not meant like a handful of people too. So for me, it's not so far fetched. Maybe for superstars like WWE who've made it to that level, it might be like, crap, I gotta actually pull from when I was an indie wrestler. This was kind of a normal thing. But yeah, you do what you need to do the same way if it was in front of one person or 1,000 people. That's how I was trained. So that's what.
Got to be tough. You lose so much juice. I feel like the adrenaline is probably so much lower. Like that. They had a match last night that made no sense, but they had it. It was a triple threat tag team match where they each only had one wrestler because the Miz is being quarantined, I guess, because he showed up sick. And to me, the adrenaline probably helps a lot when John Morrison's falling onto a ladder spine first. Probably helps you get through some of that stuff. And instead, you're doing it, and there's nobody there. There's nobody like awing and going nuts.
Singing pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like they have to try to hear the people at home in their heads or something, because that's the only thing that they can get through. Because, and I don't want to blow it, but there was another huge spot that normally people would be like, "Oh my god," but it was just like, it happened.
You can talk like normal, even though I haven't seen it. I do have social media, so I've
okay.
had things kind of like ruined for me. Doesn't mean I'm still gonna watch it because I enjoy the matches for the.
Well, I don't want to
what
be
they
the one
are.
that ruins it. So
Okay, I know. There's a boneyard match that is amazing, and I'm super
Well,
excited to be able to watch. I'm like
Yeah.
more hyped.
some will say it's amazing. Everybody else in this chat here will say it's not AEW, so it's garbage. That's what you're gonna
Oh.
hear.
Yeah. I did not say that. I
That's
like.
all I heard last night.
I
was,
liked.
if
Well, my
AEW
opinion is I liked the boneyard match. I said I liked that.
I
Did
did.
you guys have the Facebook thing last night?
no,
You
it
weren't
was,
invited. Sorry.
No,
Neither was
What do you
I.
mean?
it was a heated Twitter argument.
Oh, those.
Yeah, I
They were
mean,
good.
I read it took 8 hours to film that. It was a movie.
It was good. It was entertainment,
terrible.
man.
It was entertaining.
It was
It's
entertaining.
artistic. Isn't that how that's what, like, wrestling is art, and it may not be your art, but it may be someone else's art, right?
Give me that match over some of the other ones that were on last
Yeah.
night.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was the highlight of the night, personally. But it was definitely divided, like on the internet. If some people say it was like art, and other people said, "What the hell was that?" So
Casey and I are AEW marks now. So, and John, no matter what WWE does, it's the best. So,
No, that's not
Oh, so you guys are literally the epitome of Twitter then. Like this
Pretty much,
is exactly you're either one side or the other.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just
Wow.
everything that WWE puts out. This guy, I don't know where he is on your screen, but the guy in the hat, he's like, that was garbage. And then AEW do the same exact thing a week later, and he's like, did you see that amazing thing they just came up with? I'm like,
that actually was the opposite since
guys.
WWE stole AEW's camera shot for the empty arena matches. So,
Oh goodness.
save it for Tuesday, buddy. Save it for Tuesday. I'm going to eviscerate you on the next show.
So during the current climate, you said that one of your friends, Lance, what's his name?
Preston Vance?
Preston Vance, yeah, that just
Yeah.
wrestled for AEW. AEW is bringing a lot of the independent talents up to wrestle on their shows during this time. If you would get the call to do that, do you think you would do something like that during this time?
During quarantine, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to say no. I mean, it's literally something that we work towards, and then to have someone reach out, I wouldn't want to miss that opportunity for sure. I don't know if that would be the only time they'd extend, that branch, so I wouldn't want to swat it away.
Sure. I think it's something that they're going to keep doing. I think that AEW is looking to bring a lot of new talent up onto the television to get shown, to a lot more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hopefully.
like you said, you don't want to say no because you don't know. If you say no once, it's like, well, we're not calling her anymore,
Yeah. Well, between that and like I've been out of wrestling for almost a year. So yeah, at this point, and now I'm out again. So at this point, if you tell me I get to wrestle in a ring, and then
You got to be so excited. I mean, like, imagine if the quarantine had started like in December. You wouldn't
Right.
have been able to have your comeback. So you've been like even like itching so bad. Like at least you got to get back and get a little taste,
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad I got the nerves of coming back on an injury out of the way,
Mhm.
so that I can just kind of go full force again. Not that I didn't the first time around, but there's always that little voice in your head. Like when I went back to NYCW, my first match back, which is where it happened, I was completely nervous before the match because I'm like, oh, I'm very superstitious sometimes. Don't let this happen again. And it was awesome. The match I faced the champion, not for the belt because she screwed and didn't put it up for me.
Yeah.
But I kicked her butt despite having a hinge brace on my knee, despite being out for so long. I kicked her butt and I won, and I have all of that under my belt now. So when we come back, that's not the issue. The issue is now we all have to build back our momentum from being out for so long. But it's not just me this time, it's everyone.
Yeah, you got to wonder, is there going to be a lot of rusty matches out there when people finally do get back,
I mean, I hope not. I didn't feel rusty when I came back after 10 months. So hopefully the people who are continuing to train in their own way, like whether it's the gym or whatever, or match tape, they come back and it's like these few months weren't lost. So hopefully not.
There is nobody training in a gym right now. I mean, if anybody's training, they're training at home.
Mhm.
I mean, we can all agree that nobody's leaving their house to go. We went for a walk this morning, and while I saw a lot of people,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody leaving to go to the gym. Nobody's going to Planet Fitness to throw the old kettlebell around.
No.
I'm not.
We're all losing muscle mass.
Right. So, I mean, I can't imagine that people are just going to be able to sit, because obviously who knows how long this is going to go on, but
Yeah.
I'd imagine there's going to be some atrophy amongst some physical sports, not just wrestling, everybody.
Yeah, my bench is way down.
Yeah, I can tell just by looking at your pecs.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not going to agree with that part of it. I'll agree with what you said, because I literally said I missed squatting heavyweight just a few days ago because I was finally being able to do it again.
Yeah, and all you people that normally don't wear pants, it's going to be rough when the pants world comes back to you. See,
I don't
That's
know,
why
man.
we have leggings.
Yeah, I've been training.
I'm in sales. I'm pretty sure I could just do this for the rest of my life.
That's what I said. That's what I'm gonna do. Sit here and
This is like
Dude, I
Jimmy
could change
Steve.
my background and I could be anywhere right now, John. I could be anywhere. I could be.
Yeah.
This shirt is literally the only thing that I have on right now, and I could be anywhere.
Oh my.
Am I?
I'm just kidding.
If I start to see that
That sucks.
down, I'm out.
Wash my brain
Lead
out.
to your socks. Yeah, I'm fully clothed. Yeah,
Oh, now you say that.
I promise. I'm not going to show
Sure.
you because they are gym
Please
shorts.
don't.
But I'm clothed.
She's like, nobody asked.
This
I
is
will
my
show you.
show. I'll do what I want.
I'll prove I do just because I have Hufflepuff socks on.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So there, I'm fully clothed, head to toe.
Jim, lift your foot up to your head like that.
I couldn't.
Yoga, man.
The whole chair.
Hold on. I'll be back in 20 minutes after I wake up from my passing out experience.
Yeah, don't do that.
You'd be surprised how crazy fit I've got while being shuttered in my house for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can
right with you.
Well,
You
that's
said
the one thing you can do. DDP yoga, or I do Ramwood, which is yoga. You can totally do that at home.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, I've heard about this.
Kind of helps.
You know what else you could do at home?
What, play
Got a
video
list-
games?
I've got a list of things. I wish I could sit at home and play video games. Unfortunately, my kid's not old enough to play video games yet, so I try to
Oh.
play them, and then he just takes the controller and throws it across the room and laughs at me. So,
That's about right.
and-
How old's your kid?
and then two and a
12.
half.
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
Yeah,
teeth.
14. 14.
I mean, who knows? I might have.
He's Sam. He's the guy with the red shirt and the beard. I'm kidding. No, he's two. He's 2.5, and he doesn't like he'll understand the video game at first, and then he has like an attention span of a 2-year-old. So
Weird.
you know,
Yeah.
he does something else that usually
Animal
involves
Crossing.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I-
Everybody's playing.
I think I'm gonna get. I think that'll be the next thing that I get. I'm just about finished with Breath of the Wild. So as soon as I finish that,
I haven't
can.
finished that, and I'm so mad.
Yeah. So
I got to the
beat
banana
it a while
guys.
ago. Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. So
Oh, yeah.
I played it back. Like I got it working on my computer illegally a while back, and now I bought a Switch about a month before the quarantine. So I've been sitting at home playing the Breath of the Wild. I haven't gotten into Mario Odyssey yet, and the Animal Crossing will probably be the next thing that I buy. So
Yeah, I did Breath of the
that's
Wild.
that's my quarantine. That's what I'm doing.
Perfect. Well, I
that-
mean, that's what most of us are doing, right?
And a vigorous yoga workout is what
Yes.
I'm doing every day.
You will.
I
I'm
woke up
still
this
doing
morning and
both.
took my son to the river to throw. We threw rocks in the river. That's what we did today.
Get your pent up energy out at the river.
Well, again, my energy was spent by the time we got him in the car. His energy is still going strong 5.5 hours later. So but-
Jim-
You need to throw a lot of rocks.
Jim's been trying to lift his leg up like you did, Riley, since the beginning of the show.
I actually started 20 minutes earlier. Casey said we were going to probably bring that up, and I said I'll get started a while.
I have a gymnast background, so don't feel too bad.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, oh, well, then what is your excuse?
I don't like to be bullied about my weight.
I didn't say anything about that.
I think you're in the wrong
Goodness.
business, man.
I'm bullying you about your flexibility, but sure.
Okay. All right.
So, Riley,
Uh,
what are some of your goals for wrestling? Obviously, WWE or AEW?
Definitely, or Impact, or Ring of Honor, anyone where I can have a contract and do this where it's lucrative and I can this can be my career, is obviously going to be a real big goal for me. I do what I wanted to do when I came back was to travel more across the country. I've only really been in the tri-state area, but I would love to get more shows all over the country, as well as I'd love at some point to go to Japan. Those are really the two biggest goals for me right now that I'm concentrating on, and I want to do more intergender matches. I feel like it's amazing while also still elevating women's division as well. So
Very cool.
Awesome.
So do they just like come and like see you? Like, you know what I mean? Like WWE or AEW, or do you have to send out stuff? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
are
like,
you what to get a match there?
Yeah.
Or
Are you
Yeah,
I was
like-
asking
gonna
her
say, because
how
I
you-
have no
how
idea
you
about
get on-
contracts.
yeah, like I'm just
John
like,
wants to be a
like, it's
wrestler.
just- you just continue to wrestle and hope somebody sees you, or do you have to be like, hey, AEW?
It's on videos, John.
I think they used to do videos.
They used to mail out the videos. That's what my coach says, that they used to
Yeah.
have to mail out the videos, and then it would just be on a pile in a box that no one actually
No
watched.
one ever would watch.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
the
imagine
exact lead
they
into
probably they probably start with like this podcast. I would imagine.
Yeah, this
Would
is
go
this
for
is definitely it right here.
And I think it's a mix, really, reaching out and also having them reach out to you. With me, I've been on Ring of Honor, Women of Honor a couple times now, and that was because I did their first ever Women of Honor seminar and then a couple of their Ring of Honor seminars. So they were able to see me and what I could do, and then they reached out to me from doing that. So that was really the big thing with them, where I can actually speak to in my experience. Other than that, I haven't had AEW reach out to me, and I haven't reached it. So that one hasn't happened yet.
We'll pull some strings, Sammy.
Yeah, come on, Sam, you got the connections.
Right now, I need to.
Only
Right
if
now,
it
I need
brings
to
me off the
concentrate on
manager.
Venus.
Only if I can be the
What's that?
manager.
Oh, you've wanted to be a manager for so long, man.
I want to be a heel manager, and that's what you need. You need to turn. Instead of
Yeah.
the Gladiator, the Geeks, you need to start bullying them.
No.
And also, Sammy makes a good Paul Bear, so you're gonna need to dye, like, bring on the whole dead shtick, black hair, black makeup.
I knew it was
I mean,
gonna
I'm okay with that. I actually really like Halloween, so.
be- There you go.
It-
They can turn heel. The Gladiator, the Geeks can turn heel too.
they'll be
Damn, you'll have to
I'll
busting
do
the door down
whatever
to get you
anyone
guys
needs me
now.
to do.
Damn, you'll have to go in as a baby face, and then you can make the heel turn
Right.
with Riley.
Oh, yeah. That's the
Yeah.
ticket right there.
Yeah.
Get the heat.
I'm down for anything that gets me able to do this as a career, so just let me know. I would love to still be able to do it in an armor and with a sword, but I'll do anything.
So, do you have is wrestling the only thing you do, or do you have another career?
I did have another career until actually right before I went back. I was working for the transportation department in New Jersey at Rutgers, and I've done that for a few years. Once I left policing, I did that. But I left to concentrate fully on wrestling, and then this all happened. So yeah, I do. When everything starts to clear up, my goal is to continue to work at wrestling as if it's my full-time career, but I also would love to volunteer for DVRT, which is Domestic Violence Response Team, and their suicide prevention hotline. That is my goal to, once this is over and hopefully start training people again, I want to start doing that as a volunteer and maybe get my foot in the door there.
Awesome.
I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but you worked for you were a 911 dispatcher, correct?
Mhm.
So
Yes, I was.
Wouldn't your foot be more in the door with that, so to speak? I mean, to me, it would be okay. Hey, my resume says I was a 911 dispatcher, then I was a cop. Now I want to do this. I think they'd be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Come on.
I
in."
mean, I hope they would be like that, but I know at the end of the day, they still have like their own training that they need to go through. Even though being a police officer and 911 dispatcher, it's not completely the same as domestic violence
Sure.
response team. We worked with them hand in hand when we had any domestic violence or sexual assault. We did work with them, but we didn't get the same training at all. I feel like policing is more law enforcement with a side of, trying to think of the word, not sociology, but I think you
I
get
know what you mean.
Yeah,
I do.
whereas the domestic violence response team is no enforcement at all, and you're working with people to try and help them get through what they're trying to get through. So that's really more what I mean by the foot in the door. I need to get the training. I need to get that part built up a bit more so that maybe down the road I could end up having a job through that.
Very cool.
And you won't need it when, you know, you're in AEW. So
Yeah.
don't worry
Once
about
Sammy gets you in.
it.
Maybe I'll do both. I can balance. I'm a gymnast.
You want to be like Dr. Britt Baker, a dentist and a wrestler?
Maybe more part-time. I want wrestling to be full-time, but I still like that aspect of my life, and I would still kind of love to be able to do that too.
So you get one match. What's your dream opponent? Like, you get to have one match in front of everybody. We're all sitting there watching you. Who do you get to go against?
Oh no.
Aha! Now I put you in.
That's so many people.
And they're all going to listen to this, and whoever you don't pick is going to
Yeah,
be
we're
They're gonna
sending
be
this
so
tape
mad.
to
No,
everybody.
they won't care. They won't care.
Make it a three-way.
Well, can I pick two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it a three-way.
Okay.
Casey, it's your show. Can she pick two?
I, of course, am going to say Becky Lynch just because she was the one who kind of got me into it. I have faced Chris Statlander in a tag team match. I'm sorry, not faced. I tagged with her against the Sea Stars. So I'd like to actually be able to face her in a singles match. So those are kind of the two for me.
That's pretty cool. That's two very different people there. Are you going to change your, like, and now that you came back from your knee injury, are you going to change anything? Like, are you going to, like, keep going the way, like you said, your thing is to catch people and throw people, but, like, you blew out your knee catching somebody. Are you going to, like, change how you do it now, or what do you think?
Oh, I still did it. I'm one of those people who, if I'm afraid of something, I'm going to do it until I stop being afraid of it. And that happened.
I ate a Rice Krispie treat once, and I'm scared to death of those things, and it's just.
So you keep doing it.
Totally.
Sammy ate a brownie once.
Yeah, he
That was a cookie.
Yeah, it was a cookie. It was a cookie.
Sure did.
Different story altogether.
Yeah, that's a.
You don't have fear when you eat a cookie like that, though, so you're fine.
He had no idea.
Doing about 30 minutes.
Sammy has the fear now.
He hasn't touched an Oreo since.
Goodness. Yeah.
I forget where we were with that. How did we get off?
You
Rice
asked if I was
Krispies,
going to change anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm hungry, so we're all distracted. You asked if I was going to change anything. I don't plan on changing the way I wrestle, mainly because I'm not injured anymore. That's exactly, my physical therapist is like, you need to stop thinking like you're injured. You're not injured anymore. Right. So that's what I do for every match. The only thing I might change is my gear, because I want to come back with something shiny.
Ah, nice.
Shiny and new.
You're going to want to run that by your manager, Sam.
You have approved that.
I'm already thinking.
You're going to need to get that approved.
I'll hold the sword at ringside, and then that's what I'll use to, like, I'll trip people off the ropes with it, you know. Yeah. Choke them in the yeah, I like that.
And the only way you can be my manager is if you wear an outfit from LARPing or cosplay.
Just
done. I'll say yes to that. I'll agree to that. I'll pay.
You have to wear some sort of something from the Renaissance Fair.
I'm in. I just need to come up with a name.
Awesome.
I think we can talk Tate into that.
You can drink mead, like in a mug, while you're at ringside. Drink mead.
You know? That'd be an interesting dynamic, a good guy wrestler with a heel manager. Like, the manager's just constantly fucking with things, and the wrestler's like, what are you doing? That'd be kind of an interesting thing.
Very confusing.
Be like, stop drinking all the mead, man. And then I turn heel.
Why do you hang out with that asshole?
You didn't even leave me any.
Well, does anybody have anything else for Riley?
I was saving that dream match question. That was my big go home thing, and I don't know. That was it.
The lead up was incredible, John.
I know, right? I just like threw it out there. I've been doing this for a long time, so I know what I'm up to.
You are a seasoned professional, my friend.
Man.
I mean, I liked that question. It stumped
I
me
did
for a
too.
second.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's why we brought him on today.
Don't want these assholes to tell you otherwise.
You got anything for us, Sam?
I think we covered everything I was thinking of.
All right. Well, how about Jimmy? You got anything for us, buddy?
No, man. I'm just gonna go back to my quarantining. I'm building a pork roast today. So, yeah,
Close.
one of my it's a light workout. I have to get up and walk to the oven and open the oven, and then I have to check it, shut the oven, and walk back to the couch. So there is some working out involved.
Yeah.
Other than that, probably nothing.
You want to come
Probably
over
watch some.
leaves?
You've been raking leaves for days.
A lot of leaves.
I was gonna say, how many leaves do you have?
Yeah.
Burn the house down and start over.
Yeah.
Jesus
Doesn't
Christ.
work. Burn it down. Close. Yeah, sounds about right.
Man.
Oh, 3 patients at Devin's work positive COVID-19.
Really?
So, yeah, my wife works at a nursing home here in Berkshire.
Oh no, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, so
That's
bad
not-
news for and she's 6 months pregnant. So
Holy moly, is she still working there?
we're pretty sure she's not going back tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay,
we're gonna-
yeah. After the tests, yeah, I feel like that would be a good idea.
This whole thing's just so outrageous.
It's crazy because it's like half the apocalypse.
Yeah.
For sure, because there are definitely a lot more people outside. I'm like, they're walking like they're zombies, but it's not full apocalypse. You can still get food and everything like that, but it just feels weird.
Yeah.
Like you feel the weird.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
apocalypse without all the cool parts. It's just like sitting around in your house doing like video games.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend went for a hike, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I got this interview to do. Thank God we had this today, because I'd have been out there on a freaking mountain hiking today. So thank you, fellas, for getting me out.
Oh
of there.
yeah, this is way better than the outdoors. No offense to you, Riley. I'm glad you're joining us. But
I'm not signing up.
John, what the? You might want to think about walking outside once, today. At least get out today, take a look at things.
Yeah, I got some leaves
How,
already.
how,
Leaves in the fall? Like, why do you still have break? I got to get back to this thing. I mean, I know we're here to interview her, but why do you have so many goddamn leaves?
That is a very important question.
Well, because I never cleaned them up at the end of when they fell last year.
well,
But
a
don't they-
better question would be: we're now an hour and 10 minutes into this conversation. That pink bandana has not left your neck, and there's nobody at your house. My aunt, your girlfriend, is on her way to Florida right now, so you're home alone. Why do you need a mask?
Wait. She's going to Florida?
I was, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she's flying, right?
Yeah, she was one of 4 people on the plane today to go to Florida.
Yeah. My grandmother has symptomatic, but did not have a positive
Okay.
test come
She
back.
has pneumonia, though.
She's down in Florida with pneumonia with my
Oh.
mom, my dad, and my aunt, uncle, and now my other aunt.
So the
Casey.
bandana is a thing that you're trying to get over. You're trying to make this a thing. Is this going to be a weekly thing, or is this?
Does it smell like Barbara?
Because I
It
saw
smells
the
like
picture.
Barbara.
It might be. I wasn't sure which color to go with. I don't want to get in any gang trouble.
Purple.
Purple, okay.
Purple.
Oh,
always
I
gonna
don't
say
mind the
purple.
color. It could be whatever. I don't care what color it is. I'm more concerned is like why you have it on. Like you're the Lone Ranger running around your house by yourself.
He's trying to make it
just
normal,
question-
so it's a fashion.
Which
You know,
makes
it's an
this even weirder.
accessory.
It makes
But
it even
it-
weirder because
I'm
then he does
trying
this
here.
all the time.
I'm trying here.
Just admit it, he's just a weird dude. That's just all it comes down
He's
to.
very weird. That shirt and bandana are probably all he has on, Riley. I hate to break it to you.
Well, at least he's wearing my shirt, so I'll give him a point for that.
Tell people before we wrap up here, Riley, tell people where they can find you, where they can get shirts, Gladiator the Geek shirts.
Yes. So my shirts are all on What a Maneuver. And then my social media is the Riley Shepard. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, the tweets. I also have a website. It's RileyShepard.com, where we mentioned my blog before. That's where my post was there. Any of my matches or any photos are all there as well. I'm hoping to put more merch and a calendar on that. So we have time going forward. Hopefully that'll be up by the time we get back.
Right on. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It was a great conversation, and good luck. I'm sure we'll check back in once the world starts back up again.
Yes. Thank you, and also good luck with your pork roast and your yoga, possibly.
Yeah.
And your leaves.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Riley. Take care.
Thank you.
Are we ending case or what are we doing? I mean,
Yeah,
we don't have a second call in or anything, right?
Nope, that's it for today.
Sorry, everybody. That's all you get is an hour of all of us. That's all we can offer on this. Sorry, John. You have to go back to doing things now.
Yeah, I know. I have to take apart a swing set today.
What?
Yeah, there's an old ass swing set.
Taking apart it.
No, because it's like really dangerous, extremely dangerous. Like when the kids get on it, the whole thing goes wow. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it apart. Yeah.
Just knock it down then.
Well, I'm gonna do something. I was gonna just take a saw to it because it's all wood, but this is really thrilling stuff. Yeah, that's
saw it up.
Yep, pretty much.
So pretty much this quarantine is forcing everyone to do all the chores that they avoided for 4 months.
The swing set has been shitty for like 3 years.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah. Somehow they've lived this long, and I'm like, all right, now's the time to do it.
Maybe we'll secure them before they get too heavy.
Yeah, I know. Now they're like teenagers, and they don't use it, but I'm like, yeah, I better take that thing down.
In case any random kids come by the house.
Yeah, exactly.
He really just wants to use it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cut it.
I'm going to reinforce it for myself.
So we're all pretty much doing chores, or anyone who's used to video games, this is like our normal status quo of we're okay because we have our video games.
Yeah, I was like, this is Jim's lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of anything changed. There's a lot less drinking involved.
Yeah.
But
limited supply.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that too.
I finished off the vodka last night, so.
Things are going to start getting hairy this week.
Yeah,
no more vodka in the house.
Nope.
My parents are stockpiling cases of beer. My father sent me a picture. I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you, but he sent me a picture of their basement and the cases of beer that he has stockpiled just in case the liquor stores go out of business or something.
Yeah, ours are closed.
Yeah, ours are completely closed.
Well, our liquor stores are closed, but the beer stores are still open.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Stupid Pennsylvania. Jesus.
He likes his Molson.
Yeah, he does.
We only got 2-3 months of this left, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Can't go without their beer. I don't know. My friend actually does personal delivery for them because he works at the liquor store that's local. And he texts me. He's like, "Tell your parents to pick up the phone. I have beer for them." I'm like, "I don't live there." But they have a stockpile now. I think you're all crazy.
I wonder if he's willing to meet me at the border.
Yeah, let's all go.
All right, everybody. Well, enjoy your quarantine. Thank you so much for joining us, Riley. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
John
Thanks
and
for having
Sam.
me.
You're very welcome. John and Sam.
Yep.
Thank you for your contributions as always.
Anytime, man. I'm always just sitting here in this ring, just ready to go. So whenever.
The ring with the lawnmower.
Yep.
Did you set up a green screen, John, or is that just
My webcam has
actual wallpaper?
Yeah, that's actually what my bedroom. This is actually around my bed.
You're like a car bed in the middle of that.
It's like a car bed, ring bed. Yeah.
I would not be comfortable to sleep in. I'm telling you right now.
It looks so soft on TV, though.
I know, until you fall on it. And then it hurts.
Thanks for having
us.
us.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care. It's been emotional.
Goodbye.
Bye. Stay safe.
See ya.
Thank you.